everyone, I'm Ursina Bila binti Mama Rais, and today I want to talk about epizootic ulcerative syndrome or EUS in fish. EUS is caused by water mold called Aphanomyces invidens, which leads to ulcers on the fish's skin. Under a microscope, we can see its filaments or hyphae spreading into the fish's tissues, causing inflammation as the immune system tries to fight back. EUS mainly affects both wild and farm freshwater fish, as well as those in estuaries. It's a serious problem, especially in aquaculture, because it can lead to widespread fish death, impacting ecosystems and the fishing industry. EUS is caused by an agent called as Aphanomyces invidens, which leads to large open sores on the fish. The fish's body responds by forming inflamed areas called granulomas to fight the infection. Aphanomyces belongs to a group known as water molds. While they were once thought to be fungi due to their thread-like growth, they actually belong to a different group called Stramenopiles or Comista, which also includes diatoms and brown algae. About 76 species of fish are affected by EUS, including climbing perch, some species of catfish, sea bass, and some species of tilapia. However, some species like common carp, Nile tilapia, and milkfish are resistant to EUS and don't get infected as easily. EUS was first discovered in 1971 in farmed ayu fish in Japan. Since then, it has spread through Papua New Guinea, Southeast Asia, South Asia, and even West Asia, including Pakistan. In the United States, similar outbreaks were caused by the same agent as the US. The first outbreaks in Africa occurred in 2007, affecting Botswana, Namibia, and Zambia. To date, EUS has been reported in 24 countries across 4 continents, which involve North America, Southern Africa, Asia, and Australia. EUS spreads horizontally through the water, passing from one fish to another. Aphanomyces zoospores attach to damaged skin and grow into filaments called hyphae. If they don't find a vulnerable fish or the conditions aren't right, they can become secondary zoospores, remaining inactive in the water until conditions improve and they can infect fish later. Looking at the predisposing factors, EUS usually occurs in low temperature water, from 18 to 22 degrees Celsius, and after a heavy rainfall. Skin damage from parasites, bacterial or viral infections, or even acidic water is needed for Aphanomyces to cause EUS. In countries like Bangladesh and Pakistan, flooding has also helped spread the disease. In cold seasons, EUS can lead to over 50% of morbidity and mortality in affected fish. Early signs include red spots on the body, head, gills, or even tail. As the disease progresses, large red or gray ulcers develop, often with brown necrosis. Most fish species except striped snakeheads and mullet die at this stage. In highly vulnerable species like snakeheads, ulcers can erode the back and the skull, exposing the brain while the fish is still alive. Diagnosing EUS involves assessing fish clinical symptoms and confirming through histopathology. Diagnosis can be made by examining tissues under a microscope or isolating Aphanomyces invidens. A positive diagnosis occurs when mycotic granulomas are found or E. invidens is isolated from tissues. Early clinical signs include loss of appetite, darker coloration, and floating near the surface with infected fish often displaying jerky hyperactive movements. To directly detect EUS, microscopic methods can identify the non-septate hyphae of A. invidens, while polymerase chain reaction, or also known as PCR, can amplify its DNA for detection. Unfortunately, there is no protective vaccine available. Routine disinfection of fish eggs and larvae against water mold also helps control Aphanomyces invidens. While controlling EUS in natural waters is difficult, in closed water bodies or ponds, methods like liming to improve water quality and removing infected fish can help reduce the spread and control the disease. That's all for today's video on epizootic ulcerative syndrome. I hope this information helps you understand how this disease affects fish and the steps we can take to manage it. That's all for now. Bye-bye!